concoctions, science. Yeah. No, the beat hasn't come yet. The beat has not officially come in yet. I'm dropping that beat right now. No, we're gonna play the rest. Everything is going to be okay. Okay. Alright, with that being said, welcome to the Sunday edition of Morning Coffees with James. I'm your boy, James Michael Conley, and today we are going to be talking about a lot of things. Most importantly, one special little thing that's happened today. Not special in the sense of like, ooh, this is special, but something that has been going on recently. As you know, a lot of people have been kind of causing chaos due to the George Floyd incident, and honestly, everybody has a right to be angry about this, but the way they are protesting, and I'm starting to suspect something about these protests. That, you know, some of these may not just be like straight up peaceful protests anymore. Like, some of these seem to be like, they seem to escalate from being peaceful to violent in a matter of moments. And it's been happening all over the country. You know, certain cities have been looting and rioting, and people are getting pissed off. They're calling the president racist, or, you know, he's a segregator, he's this, he's that. And I've been following some people who identify as just simple, like, cosplayers or nerds who just don't focus on politics. But most recently, people have been getting into the political spectrum, and it's starting to get kind of annoying. And not to say that I don't mind anybody stepping their foot into the political arena. I mean, granted, we need to talk about politics. It's something of a civil duty. I hate talking about politics. In my mind, it's like, it's such an annoyance. But like, it also affects my genre, my field of expertise, and that's entertainment. Like, I follow a lot of entertainment guys, and for those who don't know, the left has completely taken over Hollywood. Like, the left has always owned Hollywood, but at one point in time there was a balance between, like, you know, left democratic, you know, progressive liberal, you know, filmmakers, and then you had the right conservative, you know, pro-American, you know, Republicans who you know, balance everything out, like guys like John Wayne and everything like that. But excuse me, but enough about that, I say. I am more concerned with, okay, I want to hear, I'm going to play some music in just a moment, so yeah, give me a second. It just concerns me a little bit, you know what I mean? And especially with with what's been going on recently, People have been rioting in the streets, and granted, this is like, I understand the anger behind this. Oh, the white man, the cops. Like, look, everybody, and again, I repeat myself, and it's like everybody's seen the video of the cop using excessive force to put his knee on the man's neck. Everybody saw that. That I keep talking about how thin the blue line is getting, and it's getting thinner and fucking thinner. And that's the terrible part about this, is the fact that, well, no shit, Sherlock, because, you talk about there are good cops, and yes, there are bad cops, but why the fuck are the good cops just letting this happen? Why aren't they stepping in and being like, yo, just get the fuck off his neck, or arresting them? You talk about this brotherhood shit, and it's like, and you wonder why nobody respects the cops, because you don't respect anybody else but yourselves. You all act like you're all, like, in this gang in America, and that's the problem. A lot of these libertarians that I follow on Instagram are like, well, you stupid Republicans, and you're just supporting the police. It's like, we support the police because sometimes when this shit hits the fan, they're there to help us. But when they're complete assholes and they do shit like that, I've dealt with shitty cops before, trust me. But I also dealt with a lot of good policemen, and the good policemen I remember, as well as the bad policemen. But this time it's like, okay, things are just getting out of hand with this. And the fact of the matter is that, the whole looting thing, the whole looting of Target in Minnesota, or, the fact that recently Philadelphia had a fucking riot going on. And, I'm gonna look this up right now, because this is like, it's just like insanity. So wait a minute. You're upset about this guy getting his neck stomped, but your whole thing is to loot and riot and just throw a temper tantrum? Like, alright, I get it. I understand, the anger of this. I understand the entirety of the anger, the hatred, the absolute frustration, and I understand that. Nobody is denying this anymore. Nobody, including people who, are dealing with the fucking cops. I mean, people like, you think, oh, well, you're just so blinded by the cops, you're just a bootlicker. It's like, it's not the fact that we're bootlickers. I'm tired of being called a bootlicker. Every time, like, you want to support the police, and it's like, horse shit. I'm sorry, but it's not about supporting the police anymore. It's about, we need that civil unity. But, like, what about the black cops? I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. And it's just really pissing me off to no fucking end. And it's like, it's... I'm just... Look, and I get it. Again, I'm not criticizing the rioters. Yeah, I understand why you're rioting. I understand also why the police are, like, upset. It's this, this separation, this division of, church and, like, of our culture, of our people, and I mean not just white people, if you want to hear that shit. It's not about white people right now. It's about everybody. We are slowly losing ourselves. It's like, there are cops out there who are black. There's black cops out there, and yes, they even understand the racism that's going on behind the scenes. Nobody's denying this. It's one of those things we need to start looking at. I mean, yeah, why are the police, like... It's such insanity. It's such insanity, and I'm like, yo, we need to step in and talk about this. And it's like, okay. Oh, I'm going to type in Philly riots, and I'm just going to take a look at this real quick. But, to go rioting, like, I heard about the riots, and everybody was so panicked, and I'm like, okay, if they start coming over here, like, I'm armed, so I'm not really worried about that shit, so... I mean, and Philadelphia has rioted it before, so it's not like... I'm not, like, scared.
Governors have mandated...
Not right now. Not right now. I know why government failed us, and we need to overthrow some governors, because they need to go. I'm sorry, but don't rely on your trusted Democratic governors anymore. They're pieces of shit. So it's like, I'm so tired of everybody, like, figuring out, wait, it's like, they're all pieces of shit. All right.
Questionable behavior. That's where we find NBC 10's Drew Smith. He's at 8. There have been some incidents of
And I'm looking at these riots, and it's like people are breaking into places, and they're just like, it's such anarchy. I like, look, I'm an anarchist at heart. Like, I believe in Zen anarchy, causing mischief to the system, but like, tell me, how is like looting a fucking Sam's Club? Well, that woman, wait a minute, let me back that up real quick. That woman is wearing like a very interesting outfit. It's like a skin tight like exercise outfit that was from like the 80s. My God, it's just so like, and again, this is worse than the fucking, riots for fucking the sporting events. Let me look at some more of this shit, and it's like, what the fuck? It's like, this is the thing the Democrats are doing right now. They want you to call, like, and this is the thing. Don't go out and loot. Don't go out and riot. In fact, this is what the Democrats want. They want martial law. They want to keep making Trump look bad, and it's bad for everybody. You think street gang, you think you're badass, you think you're a tough guy, with your little black gang and your little white gang and all this shit. The military is fucking worse because they got bigger guns. They've got tanks. They've got armored vehicles. They've got, shit that will turn you inside out and outside in. Like, and granted, I didn't mean to say black gang. Like, I'm like, I understand the fucking frustration. But do you think, why is one man stealing a fire extinguisher? My God, and I'm just a guy sitting here in his pajamas talking about this. I should be out there taking pictures of this shit or something. And people are carrying around trash bins of like clothes and that they looted. Tell me this, what does it solve? That when you loot a fucking store for a new TV, it makes no fucking logical sense. You are making the situation worse. We're gonna fight the system by looting a Starbucks. It's like, no, these were the fucking people that were helping you. If you want to be angry, be pissed off at the governors who, fucking, yeah, keep throwing up a gang sign. And again, I know half of you out there are going to be like, oh, you racist white man. It's like, racist, this has nothing to do with, being a bigot or whatever, First of all, I'm not a racist. Stop, throwing that as a fucking slang word at me, because it's lost all meaning. It's like calling me like an asshole. You want to scare me, but the truth is, it's that, I'm going to ask you again, what does it help to loot a fucking store? Unless like the shit is really hitting the fan. This is like, there's one dude playing piano here, my God. It's like, what does this have to do with anything? It's like, if you really gave a shit, people, and I mean this too, if you really gave a shit, I don't care what you have to say, because most of the news networks out there are fucking liberal. They're not, like, I'm gonna say it again. There's fires, there's shit, there's military, there's policemen wearing riot gears. This is unhealthy. This is super fucking unhealthy. Like, yo, guys, like, I'm talking to everybody here. You're talking about, like, I get the frustration. I get the anger. But to just go out and start looting, it's like, hitting another thing, too. Like, nobody's upset when, or in Canada. Here's another one. In Canada, a woman was asking for directions to go to a park, and I think it was on Ontario, and she was trying to look for directions to get to a certain park for the protest, and this one woman decided to just start attacking people. To start attacking people left and fucking right. And her daughter got involved. When the woman who started the attack, her daughter got involved and started attacking this woman. And this, you want to talk about the right being evil and everything like that. people who are against this fucking lockdown and all this shit, you know, and especially with the rule of government doing whatever the fuck they want, and don't give me this bullshit, it's like, well, you're gonna spread germs and everybody's gonna die. I'm sorry, but this is not the bubonic plague. This is not some wild, crazy virus that is going to wipe out humanity. Which, by the way, I'm going to address something too. The news outlets, I don't care if it's Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or NBC or CBS or ABC or any of your local stations, they sensationalize stories. They're known to be sensationalizing, you know, everything. Shark attacks, from killer toilets to could something in your household be killing you? Find out at 11. You know, they're a entertainment industry as well. They're not there to give you the information. They're there to scare you and to watching the news. Oh my God, there's something in my kitchen that might make me into a zombie. I gotta find out. I know I got work at fucking. And then they go through these stories, and then like when they get to the story that is there, it's like, oh well, it's like the product you don't even have in your fucking kitchen, because they sensationalize this shit, and nobody gets that. Nobody gets that. I think, you know what this thing is that nobody gets the fact that the Democrats don't even give a shit. I mean, the fucking cultist, you know, progressive left, you know, left of like everybody Marxist. I mean, like, people talk about how, oh, we got a Nazi problem in this country. We also have a fucking communist problem in this country. You think the Nazis are bad? No, the communists are a lot worse. And yes, they are also anti-Semitic. Okay? Stalin. You know, Stalin, Karl Marx. You know, I'm trying to think who else was the fucking... Stalin. Mussolini, not Mussolini. Stalin... Karl Marx, the dude with the mustache. You know, they were anti-Semitic too, much more anti-Semitic than Hitler. I mean, yeah, sure, Hitler killed 6 million, but, you know, Mussolini and then, you know, the communists killed a lot more, but took more time to do it. Both those parties are fucking crazy as shit, you know? And don't get me started with Antifa, because Antifa fucking loves to cause this shit, and they're not the heroes. Heroes don't wear black and cover their face up completely. You know, you may say, well, Batman wears black. Batman wore black and gray, and sometimes yellow. You know, and then the fact that, you know, he didn't cover his fucking mouth, you know, says a lot about the man. You know, he was speaking the truth, you know, but hiding his face so that the identity couldn't be lost. But that's the fucking thing. That's the fucking thing people need to realize about this whole shit. It's like, you're fucking, you know, your team is fucking going crazy. And yeah, even like, I have to admit something too, the Republicans are not helping this. There's some Republicans that kept, you know, the lockdown at bay. You know, it's... You know, I'm fucking cautious about this shit. There's looters, there's rioters, there's people stealing. Tell me this, and I mean this for the city of Philadelphia. What is it? Oh yeah, they looted a fucking Walmart. That will show the fucking, you know, yeah, we did it. Just destroy everything. Take that, civilization. Guess what? The people who actually keep this country running are now pissed off that you destroyed a fucking Wawa. Tell me, what did that accomplish, you fuckers? Tell me what that accomplished. You know, we have a fucking, you know, crisis in this country right now, and yet I'm you know what, I'm not sorry for the people who got arrested for rioting. And I mean, I grant it, you want to protest? Good. Okay, that's another thing that's pissing me off. That is another fucking thing that's been pissing me off. The whole, it's stolen land! This is stolen land! Do you really give a shit? You keep talking about it being stolen land, but honestly, you seem to have no complaints otherwise. Like, get the fuck over it. There can be no justice on stolen land. Shut the fuck up. We didn't steal it, we took it. There's a difference. And we fought for it, too. You think it was easy fighting the Native Americans? No. It took a long fucking time to do that. And I know there's probably going to be some people out there being like, you fucking white man, you fucking evil white. You haven't seen white people be fucking aggressive yet. You haven't seen them snap yet. You wonder why they keep, you wonder why, like, people are getting pissed off when they hear something like white male rage, and you want to see white males get fucking angry. You'll see one day when they'll fucking grab you by the short hairs and drag you, literally drag you, and then fucking cut your head off and put, like, they'll go Solomon Kane on your ass. They won't give a shit anymore. They don't care. And you cry about it later. There can be no stolen land. Really? Then okay, then we'll give it back. Then and I was talking to my friend the other night about this, and it's like, if you really gave a shit about your homeland, why don't you go back in there and visit it once in a while? Why? Because you have it good here. Stolen land, my ass. Oh, such evilness that we stole the land from these humble and peaceful Native Americans who are also slaughtering their own kind and other fucking tribes. I'm sorry. Yes, the mysticism that you were fucking told with Dances with Wolves and all these other things that your history classes teach you were a fucking lie. The Native Americans were also slaughtering each other too. And I'm sorry, but I'm so fucking tired of hearing how great they are. Yes, they had a great culture, but the honest to God truth is that they were doing some shitty things too. Nobody's perfect on this fucking big blue ball you call Earth. So fucking done. And go ahead, call me every fucking name in the fucking book. I don't give a shit anymore. Fucking white imperialist, asshole. Oh, you're retarded. Like, you know what? Go fuck yourself. And especially the Democrats and the Libertarians. Because I like the Libertarians and I like Democrats. But the problem is that when you shit on Republicans, and I don't even like Republicans either. I'm not like every other fucking Republican either. By the way, 420 blazing, but I want to still legalize machine guns as well as all drugs too. Yeah. Fuck you. I'm sorry, but we don't live in a civilized world. We have a mask call of civilization. It's fucking insanity, my friend. It's fucking insanity. And again, it started as a peaceful protest. And it's like, let me ask you this. You want to talk about stolen land? I'm sorry, but this is America, okay? Yes, it's not perfect, but it's the kind of... But I will never trade it for anything else. And I'm sorry, stop white guilting me into thinking that I'm the bad guy, okay? Stop it. Stop it. Your argument is invalid. It doesn't affect me anymore. I don't give a shit. You've pushed people to not giving a shit anymore. And I hate talking about politics because it sounds like I'm an asshole, but you know what? I am. And you haven't seen you haven't seen me be an asshole. I love pissing people off. I love them getting frustrated and angry at me because you know what? It's fucking hilarious to me. It's fucking hilarious. I'll even slap your ass around and fucking call you Susie. You want to know why? Because you need somebody to ruffle your fucking feathers. And yes, and you're talking to a man in a blue fucking robe. And I get it too. I understand the struggle. But to just, violence only breeds violence. And by the way, it sounds like you don't really want equal rights. It sounds like you want to be the conquerors and the kings wearing the hats. And then you want to torture all the white people so you can have this power fantasy. I'm sorry, but you know what? Unlimited power will always breed unlimited corruption. And that's what it sounds like. You just want unlimited power. You want it all until you're just blue in the face and you're overweight and stuffed. The same thing with women wanting ultimate unlimited power. Women can't handle power. I'm sorry, but this is why we didn't want Hillary fucking goddamn Clinton in office. She is a power-hungry bitch. And the rest of these people, women in politics, or who are power-hungry bitch who can't handle power. And the ones that know how to handle themselves are few in between. They had to learn. They had to learn and get in touch with their ominous, yeah, ominous. You know, the male part of their brain, psyche, and understand how things work. You know, this is like the story of Adam and Eve was not, you know, about a woman, you know, being tempted by the snake. It was a woman being tempted by power, unlimited knowledge, and corrupting that. And go ahead, call me a sexist, you know. I'm going to lose half my followers, but you know what the truth is? If you're getting offended by this, go ahead, get offended by this. Get upset about this. Comment how wrong I am and, you know, how great the Democrats are and how wonderful, you know, your intelligent lives are. Which, by the way, I need to ask all my Democrat friends to just try not smoking weed 30 days, to try shooting a gun, to read The Art of War, to read, you know, just understand, like, that one, like, the other side. For once in your life, you know, just listen to the other side. Watch Fox News, you know. Watch One American News. For fuck's sakes, watch InfoWars, for fuck's sakes. It's like, come on, guys. Come on. And this is probably going to get buried. I know. I'm just... This is why I'm taking a break for a week, because there's so much shit going on. And the truth is, we need to be coming together. And we can't be divided anymore. I'm upset about this shit, but to destroy somebody's business and livelihood, because what? The truth is, you don't give a shit about George Floyd. Yeah, you're pissed off, but in reality, you're using it as an excuse to loot, to take shit for free, without asking, without buying. You know, it's like that song, like April 26, 1992. There was a riot on the streets. Where were you? You know, and it's describing this person who is this, you know, going on a looting rampage, stealing liquor, guitars, furniture, and he's talking about it wasn't for the black man, it wasn't for the Mexican, it was about coming up, screaming 187 on a motherfucking cop. It was about chaos. And I'm, again, Zen anarchist. This is not how you're supposed to do it. If you really want to give a shit, go after people like Nancy Pelosi. Go after guys like Tom Wolf. Go after these blue state Democratic, you know, electives who keep locking us out and keep extending their, you know, the lockdown because they want, you know, they're now the kings and queens of their holy land. You know, why I call Tom Wolf a cunt is the fact that he told everybody else to close their business except his cabinet business. That's why I call Tom Wolf a C-U-N-T cunt. A cunt. You know? And this is why I'm pissed off at the Democrats, too. This is why. Not to say I don't hate all Democrats, it's just the fact that I just don't like their policies. When they get, you know, when they get too much power, they become fucking assholes and fucking power-hungry monsters and, you know, arrogant and fucking arrogant. And I was ready too. I have my rifles ready. I have my guns ready. You know, my pistolas. I wasn't afraid. I was like, all right, bring it on. If I start hearing riots, I'm locking the house up, going upstairs, you know, getting prepared, and defending my home against looters. Because you know what? I'm not gonna be bullied by fucking people who are assholes and upset, who are not, you know, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X would be fucking pissed off. And don't give me this bullshit and Malcolm X would agree with you. No. Malcolm X wasn't about violence. He was about standing up to the white man and telling him, look, I'm black and I'm proud of it. Like, fucking right on. And if anybody out there is upset about, you know, doesn't find themselves, you know, I was listening to Kevin Hart, and he was talking about his daughter not fitting into school, and her hair not being exactly like, you know, the white girl's hair. Don't worry about it. You have one, especially all the black girls out there, of all ages, you have one magical gift out there. You have powers beyond recognition. You have what I like to call black girl magic. And that wasn't given to Marin. That wasn't given to you by Marin. That was given to you by Mother Africa. You know? Embrace it. Embrace who you are. And that goes with all the fucking kings of Africa, too. All the brothers out there. And I sound like such a white liberal excusing myself. No. That goes for all of you out there who, and I'm just holding up my be cool stick, as my brother would call it, or the short bat. You know, he you know, be proud of who you are, you know. the emperors of, if you're Asian, be proud of who you are, but remember where where you're at. You're an American if you're American, all right? If you came from the homeland of where you came from, be proud of that, but be also know the fact that you are an American now, and if you're born here, be proud of being an American in this country. And yes, I'm sorry we have racism still. We have racism. We still have racism still. I mean, I'm not denying that. Slavery still happens, but in this country, not as much. Not as much anymore. In fact, you're talking about, we still fight in this country, goddammit. We still fight for what we want. I mean, for fuck's sakes, it's like, if it was easy, we would be weak, We're the country that, has bombed, it has war in its fucking songs, for God's sakes. We keep fighting because we gotta fight for our rights all the fucking time, because freedom isn't motherfucking free, okay? I think I've gone long enough. 30 minutes is enough. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Peaceful protest is fine, and I'm gonna just keep looking at this. Police reform now, right on. I'm all for police reformment, okay? I'm not denying, nobody's denying it. But I think, and especially with this lockdown shit, people are starting to get more noticeable with, how fucking ruthless policemen are getting. You know what I mean? Nobody's denying the fact that now police, people have been noticing this. And I keep talking about how thin that blue line is getting. But then again, you got, the BLM group, which, you're starting to lose your, identity there. And you're letting these fucking wackadoos go in and lose it, You need to reclaim that back. You need to reclaim that back and, look at the other side of the story. You don't know, and again, don't assume that you know everything about white people because you've seen the fucking shitty white trash people and you're like, yep, that's all of it. Because you refuse to look at that. And nobody wants to call, everybody says, white people are inherently racist. Well, you know what? Black people can be racist too. But you don't call them out because their skin color is darker. Well, you know what's something? I don't approve of any racism or any supremacy whatsoever. And again, I'm afraid of fucking genetic supremacy. That's the one we should also look at too. I'm afraid of that as well. This idea that your race is better than everybody else's. No, I'm sorry, you're not. All right? Tell me, how many black people do you see in the colder states? In Alaska and shit like that? Tell me, do you see a lot of them? No? Just saying. I'm just saying. Yes, there are some Canadians out there. There are some black Canadians out there. I don't mean to be sounding like that, but I'm just being a troll. So yeah, I think I've gone long enough, and I'm just going on mindless rants here now. So I'll see you guys in the next. Again, we got violent riots are not going to help this. We need to come together all over. So alright, I think I've spoken enough. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you in a week because I'm taking a break. So take care, love you, and bye-bye. And just relax and don't. Peace is the answer, not war. Peace needs to be attained. We need to all come together. We can't be divided right now. Everybody, gays and straights, blacks and whites, women, men and women, blue states and red states. We all need to come together to fight the common enemy of the globalist elite, these, technocrats, these, the shadow government. And I know people are like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. So is the Russian collusion, but half of y'all believe that. Yet, the man is still in office. The man is still in office. Alright, I'll take care, love, and bye-bye.